The videos are a little bit mixed matched, so sorry if it looks all confusing because the beginning video part is gonna look different because the introduction is actually gonna be in the second part of it. So sorry about that. That's just an explanation here. This is a project I've been doing for principles of technology, and just you know what? If you don't know about it, you learn some science. There you go. Thanks. Mainly potential energy is when it stays still and it's just mainly stationary. That's basically what potential energy is. But kinetic energy is when there's movement towards it. Like, you know, it's like you have a rock on a hill, alright? And, you know, it just sits there. But if you knock it, throw over, and it starts rolling, then it has kinetic energy rather than potential energy. So it's pretty awesome. Hey everybody, and welcome to a video about, well, we're going to make about 3 types of energy here. Well, actually, we're going to do a lot of types of energy, you know, just for a science thing. It's pretty cool. So first of all, I'm going to show you the first thing is potential energy, which is probably the most boring type of energy, but it's still pretty cool and it's needed for stuff. So, like, stuff like this, you know, it just sits there, you know, it's just still, you know, like, you know, it's very still. So, I mean, it doesn't move or anything, usually it just sits still. Kind of like, you know, if you just have a vase or something, it's kinetic, not kinetic, what am I talking about? It's, potential energy. So, like, there's potential energy here. Nothing's moving, as you can tell. That's mainly potential energy. This is for some things. There's, also kinetic energy. Kinetic energy, now that's the cool stuff. That's the stuff where you get all this kind of cool stuff. You know, you get the amazing electricity kind of deal. Now, electricity is actually a part of potential and kinetic, so it's kind of odd. I didn't understand it very well, but this is how I understand how it's kinetic. There's actually 2 types of kinetic energies here. There's one with the TV being plugged into the wall and going through here. That's one kinetic energy, and also the Xbox being hooked up to the TV, which is also kinetic energy. See, look, see? When you turn that off, it stops the system there. But here it still stays on because it's connected to the wall. So there are 2 types of kinetic energy circuits for the electricity right there. So it's pretty cool. Now I can't go outside and show you wind, but wind is another kinetic energy kind of deal. So it's pretty awesome. So let's just say you go, you know, like, you know, wind, you know, the air that comes out of your mouth, you know. If you know, you talk a lot, then you got a lot of kinetic energy coming out, like kind of like me. But you know, also there's like 10 of these, so it's kind of hard to explain. So I'm gonna so there's also the sound. Sound is another kinetic energy, which basically, you know, the R2-D2 noise you hear right here. That is kinetic energy right there. Also, I found this out. My controller here, I can actually push this in, and it'll actually turn on the Xbox, which will come into that. So it's like a 3-way. Well, actually, it's like a 4-way kinetic energy thing. I don't know. It's pretty awesome. But sound is 1 way. Sound is a cool way, like, because they have plenty of ways, because, you know, it's the movement of sound. Like, that's pretty awesome. Also, light. You see this beam right here. This beam that's coming from the camera, and that is also kinetic energy, because the light is coming down like this, and it's still pulsing the light. Now, if, you know, you were to turn off this light right here, and, you know, you can't see anything. So, and there's no, as you can tell, there's no light coming, like, through the thing. So, that is also one part of the kinetic energy. I'll get to potential, but kinetic, you know, you gotta go with the cool first, you know what I mean? So, also, this is my favorite thing to use, because it's got, like, a lot of potential, kinetic energy. It's got, basically, it's got light energy, you know, light energy, no sound energy, and, yeah, that's pretty much it. It's the most enjoyable thing in the world. By the way, I bought this in DC. It's pretty awesome. I don't know why I did that. Also, the last part for kinetic energy is actually thermal energy. Now, I can't really show you what thermal energy is because I don't have a solar panel myself, but solar panels going through circuits, like, you know, how people have solar power, that is another example of would be thermal energy. Thermal energy also can be from heat from the ocean, or, you know, from frying pans that you, like, fry on the stove or whatever. It's pretty awesome, actually, because it's just unique. It's awesome, because there's still movement of heat or thermal energy going through everything, so that's why it's kinetic. It's awesome. Okay, when I said potential was kind of boring, I kind of lied about that, because I found out elasticity is mainly elastic potential energy is pretty cool, because what you do here is, like, it's mainly, like, look, see, like this, anything that stretches like this, it doesn't always keep on going unless there's another force acted upon it, so it's potential energy still. It's kinetic when you move it, but it stays stationary like that all the time. It doesn't keep moving or whatever. So that right there is elastic for potential. It's pretty awesome. I didn't even know my own workout kit actually was potential energy. It's pretty awesome. This here is a great example of gravitational potential energy, because, as they also, you like my Minecraft stuff, it's pretty awesome, but, see, what happens here is, the higher something gets, the more gravitational potential energy there is. It's still staying still, but there's still that force, like, pulling down on it, because most of the time, gravitational potential energy turns into kinetic energy. Because usually, like, let's say a slanted car on a hill and it'll go down like that, it usually turns into that most of the time. See, most of this, it's potential energy, but I mean, like, the higher it gets, the more gravitational potential energy there is. So, new things every day. It's pretty... So, the main thing I could find for nuclear potential energy is, nukes. I mean, nukes is the only thing I know, like, nukes and nuclear reactors. That's the only thing that I actually know that is a thing. By the way, this is a Fallout 4 video game. If you got children, probably shouldn't let them play this. Just saying. So, yeah, that's all I've got for nuclear energy, because that's mainly all you can get. But if you have a nuclear reactor, I'm assuming since it's still and it's, you know, an area of itself and it's not an occurrent, I guess, that's why they control the nuclear energy, I guess. Because nuclear energy, I guess, it shifts around. Also, there is a chemical potential energy. That is mainly like gasoline, you know, your fossil fuels in a way. That if they were to catch on fire with a chemical reaction, they're kind of still in the same area. There's not really a current going on. Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure if you had fire, it most likely might. But it's kind of like gunpowder, all that stuff. You know, it's calm and steady. And then you have your fossil fuels. So fossil fuels is mainly what chemical potential energy is. So last one for potential energy, and basically to wrap this all up, is electrical on potential. I'm still confused with it, but I'm assuming, like, let's just say you put a battery into something and then it flows like that, rather than having a, let's just say, a switch to make a current go around. I'm assuming that is what it is. Now, I'm not right or wrong, I don't know, but I'm pretty sure that's how it is. Kind of like, let's say, a watch. Like, you know, a watch, it's just one thing. It's like, well, this has a switch, never mind. You know, stuff with, I don't know. Stuff with batteries rather than switches that have a current, like, wires. It's just the battery itself. I'm assuming. Well, that's it. Well, I hope you enjoyed the Sir Derpy Creeper's little science lesson. You know, I tried to cry on hard. I'm really sorry I couldn't, like, get a whole lot of examples, but this is the best as I could. And I'd like to thank you all so much for watching, and I know that, you know, it's a random video. I think you're probably wondering, why am I teaching you people science? But, you know, it's because we need science, and science is good for our kids and our nation, because we need that stuff. Okay, some science is useful. We need a lot of science. Okay, thank you. So thank you for watching, and thank you so much for watching, and I guess I'll see you in another video.